Hi, fifth grade families and students. This is Miss Imparato. I'm here with Miss Crooks, and we're going to do a little preview of how to read Chocolate Fever and any books really that you have at home. Chocolate Fever is one that you will be getting in your Read and Rise kits. So when you are going to do a read aloud or reading with your family, the first step is always to get organized. Make sure you're with whoever you're reading, whether it's parents and their kids or your brothers and sisters, and check that everyone can see the book that you're going to read. The next thing you can do is explore the cover. So to do that, we'd run our finger under the cover, under the title, and read the title out loud. The title of this book is Chocolate Fever. What do you think this book will be about?
A boy, like I see a boy, so a boy who gets a fever.
Maybe he gets a fever. What do you think might cause his fever?
I think chocolate.
Chocolate, that's a good guess. And so he has a thermometer in his mouth. Did that help you decide that he might have a fever?
Yeah, because a fever is when you are hot and your mom gives you your temperature.
Excellent. Now this book is fiction. Do you know what fiction means?
Fiction means fake.
Fake. A story. After you check out the cover and ask some questions about what they think the story might be about, the next step is going to be to preview the book. Now in a chapter book, we do this by looking through at the names of the chapters. And this book happens to have pictures near the beginning of every chapter too. So we'll flip through the book and find the different chapters. Chapter 1, Meet Henry Green. And there's the picture that goes with it.
So maybe we'll learn all about who Henry is.
Maybe. I think maybe he might be one of our main characters. Chapter 2, A Strange Feeling.
That might be when he gets his fever.
Maybe. Oh, there's a picture. Fever would definitely be a strange feeling. This is Kimmelfarber's Problem.
It's a big name.
It is a big name. Who do you think Miss Kimmelfarber might be?
Maybe his mom or his teacher, because they have problems.
Sounds like it. Chapter 4 is called Pop.
Oh, maybe he got some measles.
Oh, maybe. Oh, what do you notice about his skin here?
He's got bumps.
He's got bumps.
Like chicken pox. Chicken pox.
Like chicken pox. And where does it look like he goes here?
Oh, definitely the doctor.
The doctor. Chapter 5 is called Calling Dr. Fargo. So it sounds like you might be right. It sounds like he has to go to a doctor.
No, they're studying him.
Oh, no. So do you think they know what's wrong with him just yet?
This is a mystery.
Maybe a mystery. What kind of problem do you think he might have?
Well, he has bumps and he likes chocolate. I think he likes chocolate. Maybe he ate too much chocolate.
Maybe. Chapter 6 is called Catch That Boy.
Well, he ran away from the hospital.
Why do you think he ran away?
Because they were poking him and watching him and wouldn't let him leave.
Do you think he liked being there?
He wants more chocolate.
Maybe he wants more chocolate.
That's what he wants.
I don't think hospitals have very much chocolate. In the schoolyard.
He didn't bring back a doctor's note.
Uh-oh.
And he ran back to school.
What might be going on here?
Well, all the kids are staring at him. Because he looks different.
Does anyone else have bumps like he does?
Some have freckles, but not bumps like him, no.
So you keep going through the whole book and check out every chapter. And this book happens to have one picture per chapter, so it's easy to check out the pictures. And Ms. Crooks, just by looking at those chapters and pictures, what do you think the book story might end? Make a prediction.
I hope it'll go well because he went to the doctor, but he ran away. So I don't know if it's going to end well.
Do you think he's still going to dream about all that chocolate like he did at the beginning of the book?
Well, he did have a picture. He thought, yeah. Maybe he'll change his mind about lots of chocolate because he got sick. And I know if I eat something that makes me sick, I never eat it again.
I agree. So after you preview the book and ask some good questions, ask them to make some predictions about the book, you're going to activate your prior knowledge. So, Ms. Crooks, what do you already know about chocolate?
That it tastes good.
It does taste good. Do you have a favorite kind of chocolate?
Any kind of chocolate.
My favorite is dark chocolate. But is chocolate good for you?
A little bit of chocolate is good for you.
Oh, okay.
But too much is bad.
Why do you think that?
It gives you stomach ache and makes you kind of fat.
Have you ever felt strange after eating too much of a favorite food?
Chocolate, yes.
Yeah, ate too
Mhm.
much chocolate. I think I've done that too. After you activate some of your prior knowledge to get your student thinking about the topic, thinking about what they're going to read, the next step is going to be to introduce some vocabulary. So before you share the book with your student, just flip through it, read a couple pages, and see if there's any words that you think might be new or important for your student to learn. So in this book, I saw the word verge. Ms. Brooks, do you know what verge means?
The edge of something.
So verge could be like the edge, like coming on the verge of
Losing it.
losing it. Excellent. And another word I thought you might need to know is midway.
Ooh, I know that's a road.
It is a road here in Fort Pierce. In our book, though, we use midway as like the halfway point.
Oh, okay.
So in case there's any vocabulary words that they're not familiar with, you can help explain it to them so that they know when you come to that word in the story.
So that must be the halfway point in St. Lucie County.
Oh, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe now we know that road is called Midway.
Mm-hmm.
What about cavity?
Oh, I've had some of those.
They're in your teeth, right? When you don't take good care of your teeth.
And you eat too much chocolate.
What about the word stunt?
Those are
Like a
like
stunt
a
man.
cheerleader might get on top of each other and do a stunt.
Do some crazy stunts, some like big actions or
It's
something.
like the Daredevil guy. What's his name?
Yes. Oh, I don't remember.
Some of the
I'll think of it. And what does it mean to concentrate?
To think hard.
Think hard, to focus. And what about when something is startling?
Oh, that's when it scares you and you don't know what's going to happen.
Absolutely. So after you preview your vocabulary, as you read the story and you come to those words, you might want to stop and ask them, do you remember what that means? So how is it used in the book? After that, you're going to start reading. And as you read, you want to make sure that you're asking purposeful questions about what's going on in the text, in the pictures, and stopping and thinking about those questions, letting them answer before moving on. So I'm just going to share a couple pages of Chocolate Fever with you. So Chocolate Fever. Chapter 1, Meet Henry Green. There are some people who say that Henry Green wasn't really born, but was hatched, fully grown, from a chocolate bean. Ms. Crooks, can someone be hatched?
No, I think people are like mammals and they're born live.
Yeah, I agree. And definitely not from a chocolate bean.
They're not birds. No birds.
Not birds. Can you believe that? Anyway, this particular Henry Green we are speaking of was really born, not hatched, and had a wonderful mom and dad in the bargain. His father was tall and lean and wore eyeglasses, except when he was sleeping or in the shower. Mama Green, whose name was Enid, was a short, slim woman with blue-gray eyes and a tiny mouth that always seemed to be on the verge of a smile. They all lived in an apartment in the middle of the city, along with Henry's older brother and sister. Mark Green was 10 and tall and very good to Henry, except when they would argue, which was often. And then he would hit Henry on the head with anything that was handy, which sometimes was hard. But mostly Mark was fun to be with and only got angry when Henry called him Marco Polo. Mark didn't like that, and who could blame him? Do you ever get in fights with your siblings, Miss Crooks?
Yes, when they call me names like that, I wouldn't like that.
I wouldn't either. Henry's sister was very, very old, almost 14. She didn't ever argue with Henry or Mark. In fact, she hardly talked to them at all because she was so old and wise and almost grown up. Her name was Elizabeth. The other morning, which was a school day at the end of the week called Friday, Henry, Mark, and Elizabeth were at the table in the dining room having breakfast. Mark was eating fried eggs. Elizabeth was quietly chewing on her usual breakfast of buttery toast and milk. And Henry was midway through his usual breakfast: chocolate cake, a bowl of Cocoa Crispy cereal, and milk, with chocolate syrup in the milk to make it more chocolatey, washed down by a big glass of chocolate milk and 5 or 6 chocolate cookies. Sometimes, when it was left over from the night before, Henry would have chocolate pudding too. And on Sunday mornings, he usually had chocolate ice cream.
That's a lot of chocolate.
Oh my goodness, Miss Crooks, does that sound like the breakfast you eat in the morning?
I'd like to eat that breakfast, but no, I don't eat that.
Can you tell us a little bit about the setting of this chapter so far?
They're at the house and they're eating breakfast
They are. So where are they probably sitting?
at the kitchen table.
Probably in the kitchen at their house. And what have we learned about Henry so far?
Henry likes chocolate, and he has a sister that's too wise to talk to him, and a brother who's mean and calls him names.
Excellent.
Oh, no. Henry's mean to his brother and calls him names. He calls him Marco Polo. So they're mean to each other.
That's what brothers are for, right? The truth was that Henry was in love with chocolate, and chocolate seemed to love him. It didn't make him fat. He was a little on the thin side, in fact. It didn't hurt his teeth. He'd never even had a cavity in his life. It didn't stunt his growth. He was just about average height, perhaps even a little tall for his age. It didn't harm his skin, which had always been clear and fair. But most of all, it never gave him a bellyache. And so his parents, perhaps not being as wise as they were kind, let Henry have as much chocolate as he liked. Henry loves chocolate, but how can you tell that chocolate loves him too?
Because
When we love someone or something, we're kind to them,
you're always
right?
around them, so chocolate's always around him.
Chocolate's always around him.
So, they must like each other.
Does it make him feel sick?
No, he said that he's healthy.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have cavities or belly aches
Yeah.
and he's still growing.
So chocolate is treating him well, and he definitely loves chocolate.
So he has all the evidence to prove that he should keep eating it.
Yes. So after you finish reading a chapter and then finish reading the whole book, the 7th step would be to summarize the book or the chapter. Ask your student to tell you kind of about what went on in the story, what the major events were, who the main character was, the problem, solution, and if the characters learned anything by the end. So I can't wait to hear about all the 5th graders reading Chocolate Fever. Enjoy your new books. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.